Let me ask you something. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night, say around 1:30 or 3 in the morning, completely awake for no reason at all? Your eyes open, your heart feels like it's beating just a little faster, and no matter what you do, sleep just won't come back. You're not alone. Millions of people over 70 experience the exact same thing, night after night. And it's not because your body forgot how to sleep. It's because your body is too alert when it should be resting. Now, here's the surprising part. The real culprit isn't age, or your mattress, or even that late-night cup of tea. It's a chemical your own body makes, cortisol, your built-in stress hormone. Think of cortisol like an internal alarm system. During the day, it keeps you alert and ready. But at night, that alarm is supposed to go quiet so your body can repair itself. Yet for most seniors, that system gets stuck. The alarm stays on. And just when you're finally in deep sleep, bam! Your brain releases a little burst of cortisol, almost like a car alarm going off at 2 a.m. for no reason. Here's the good news. This isn't permanent. It's chemistry, not destiny. Scientists have now discovered that certain foods, yes, simple vegetables, can turn off that nighttime cortisol switch and help you drift back into deep, peaceful sleep again. And I mean real sleep, the kind where you wake up feeling clear, calm, and refreshed. So, if you've been waking up tired, moody, or just drained, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to share 5 bedtime vegetables that science says can help you stay asleep longer, feel younger, and lower your nighttime stress naturally. And wait until you hear number 2. It's so powerful that Japanese doctors call it nature's melatonin amplifier. But before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Share it below. You might just help another senior discover a simple way to sleep better tonight. All right, let's begin with number 5. It's something you've probably seen 1,000 times in your fridge, but never realized how powerful it actually is. 2. The hidden sleep switch inside a red bell pepper. Now, I know what you're thinking. A pepper? How can that possibly affect my sleep? But stay with me, because the humble red bell pepper is hiding a compound that researchers at the Czech Academy of Sciences are calling the body's natural cortisol off switch. Here's the secret. Only the red variety works. Not green, not yellow, just the deep, ripe red ones. When a pepper turns that rich crimson color, it develops a special phytonutrient called capsaicin. And this little compound travels directly to the control center of your brain, the part that regulates stress hormones. Imagine that your brain has a tiny factory that produces cortisol at night. In most people over 70, that factory keeps running even when it's supposed to be closed. Capsaicin walks in, flips the close sign, and shuts it down for the night. A clinical study on older adults found that eating just 1 medium red bell pepper about 2 hours before bed dropped nighttime cortisol levels by 31%. That's a huge difference, and it happens right in the window when most people wake up between midnight and 4 a.m. But here's where most people go wrong. They eat peppers raw. Big mistake. Raw peppers can actually stimulate your digestion, keeping your stomach and your brain awake. Instead, you need to lightly roast them. 12 minutes at 375 degrees off is perfect, just until the skin starts to blister. That's when the cell walls break down, releasing 3 times more capsaicin for your body to absorb. And don't forget the olive oil. A teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil makes all the difference, because capsaicin is fat-soluble. Without the oil, you're only getting about 20% of its sleep-inducing benefits. So picture this bedtime ritual. Around 9 o'clock, you take 1 beautiful red pepper, roast it until the skin just starts to wrinkle, drizzle it with a little olive oil, and let it cool. Then, about 90 minutes before bed, you eat it slowly, almost like medicine from nature. By the time you slip under the covers, your cortisol factory is shutting down, and your nervous system is moving from fight or flight to rest and repair. Now, don't go overboard. 2 peppers or more can backfire, making your stomach too active. 1 is perfect. Store a few roasted ones in an airtight container, and you've got a ready-to-go sleep snack for the next few nights. It's simple, it's natural, and it works quietly, like turning down the lights inside your body. But if you want to go even deeper, if you want your brain to feel calm from the inside out, our next vegetable might surprise you, because it's not just about your brain anymore, it's about your gut. 3. The purple potato that talks to your brain. You've heard that your gut is your second brain, right? Well, what if I told you that your gut could actually whisper to your brain, "Hey, relax, everything's fine," while you sleep? That's exactly what happens when you eat the purple sweet potato before bed. Not the orange kind. Those actually feed alertness chemicals. I'm talking about the deep, rich purple variety, packed with compounds called anthocyanins. These are the same natural pigments that give blueberries their color, but in purple sweet potatoes, they're over 3 times stronger. When you eat 1 small, cooled purple sweet potato, about 150 grams, your gut bacteria get busy. They feed on those anthocyanins and produce calming neurotransmitters like GABA, which is basically your brain's brake pedal for stress. The result? A 42% drop in nighttime cortisol and a dramatically smoother sleep cycle, according to a study from Louisiana State University. But timing and temperature matter. You can't just bake one and eat it hot. When you cook it and then cool it for at least 2 hours, its starch transforms into something called resistant starch. Think of it as a slow-release capsule of relaxation. It keeps feeding your brain tiny doses of tryptophan, the building block of melatonin, all through the night. Here's how to do it right. Steam the purple sweet potato whole, skin and all, for 25 minutes. Then, let it cool in the fridge for a couple of hours. Don't reheat it. Just slice it cold, sprinkle a little cinnamon on top, and add a spoonful of almond butter. The cinnamon helps keep your blood sugar steady, while the almond butter's healthy fat keeps you full till morning. The taste? Sweet, creamy, a little nutty. It feels like dessert, but acts like medicine. And here's the key detail. Don't peel it. Most of the cortisol-blocking compounds sit right under that purple skin. I like to think of this bedtime snack as a calm-down combo. The color feeds your eyes, the texture feeds your gut, and the chemistry feeds your sleep. Just 1 small potato, 1 hour before bed, and your body gets the message loud and clear, it's time to rest. And when you wake up, you'll notice the difference, not groggy or heavy, but clear, calm, and genuinely rested. But now, let us move underground to a vegetable that looks nothing like a sleep aid, but might be the most underrated one of all. 4. The ugly root. That soothes your brain. You've probably seen it in the grocery store and walked right past it. Rough, knobby, and kind of ugly. Definitely not the kind of vegetable that says, "Eat me." But don't let appearances fool you. Celery root, or celeriac, is a sleep secret that science almost missed. This root holds a compound called 3N-butylphthalide, which researchers have been trying to copy in the lab for decades. Why? Because it gently changes how your brain handles stress. Picture your brain's stress center, like a cluster of overworked muscles. Celery root sends a wave of calm through those muscles, almost like a massage from the inside. It increases blood flow to the areas that regulate cortisol while lowering the activity of the enzymes that produce it. The result? Less tension, fewer nighttime awakenings, and a more stable morning mood. In one German study, seniors who ate just 100 grams of cooked celery root before bed woke up 52% fewer times during the night and had cortisol levels 38% lower the next morning. But, and this is crucial, it only works when you cook it just right. Raw celery root actually has the opposite effect. It stimulates your nervous system, making you more alert. The magic happens during light cooking, which transforms its natural oils into calming compounds. Here's how to make it work. Peel the root, cut it into half-inch cubes, and sauté it gently in coconut oil for exactly 8 minutes. Coconut oil isn't random. It contains special fats that help carry those soothing molecules through your blood-brain barrier. Once cooked, mash the cubes lightly with a fork, sprinkle a little nutmeg or cinnamon on top, and eat it warm about 45 minutes before bed. That's your perfect portion, around half a cup. It's comforting, aromatic, and surprisingly rich. Think of it as your evening stress reset ritual. You can even prepare it ahead of time. Store the peeled cubed root in a bowl of water with a little lemon juice to keep it fresh for up to 5 days. Now, this root does something interesting when combined with minerals, especially magnesium. And that leads us straight to our next star vegetable, one that's green, silky, and far more powerful than you think. 5. The kale that comes you like a lullaby. All right, let's talk kale. I know, it's trendy, it's everywhere, and maybe you've tried it in a salad once and thought, never again. But that's because you were eating the wrong kind. There's a very special type called dinosaur kale, also known as lacinato or Tuscan kale. Unlike the curly kind, which can actually stimulate your gut and make it harder to sleep, dinosaur kale is smoother, gentler, and loaded with a mineral that's basically the antidote to cortisol, magnesium. Think of magnesium as your body's natural off switch. When it binds to receptors in your brain, it tells your nervous system, okay, time to relax. A Yale University study on older adults found that eating 75 grams of cooked dinosaur kale 2 hours before bed dropped cortisol by 58% and extended deep sleep by over 40 minutes. That's not small. That's the difference between waking up 3 times a night and sleeping straight through till sunrise. But, as always, preparation is everything. Raw kale is packed with oxalates, which block mineral absorption. So you have to prepare it properly to unlock its benefits. Here's what you do. Remove the stems completely. They're tough and can actually stimulate digestion. Then, tear the leaves into palm-sized pieces. Add a teaspoon of avocado oil and a pinch of sea salt and gently massage the leaves for about 2 minutes until they turn silky and bright green. That simple step breaks down the cell walls and releases the good stuff. Next, saute the kale in a pan with 2 cloves of minced garlic for 4 minutes. Garlic isn't just for flavor, it helps your body absorb magnesium and adds its own calming effect. In the final 30 seconds, squeeze in a little lemon juice to boost iron absorption, which also helps control nighttime cortisol. Let it cool for 5 minutes, then enjoy it with a spoonful of tahini, that creamy sesame paste you might use in hummus. It adds calcium and magnesium in the perfect ratio for your body to stay calm all night. Now, if you've ever tried curly kale and thought it made you feel bloated or restless, this one will surprise you. Dinosaur kale feels soothing, almost like your body is exhaling after a long day. And here's the best part. You can actually feel it working. Within an hour or 2, your muscles start to unclench, your breathing deepens, and your brain begins to slow down its chatter. It's like trading your mental alarm clock for a lullaby. Eat it about 2 hours before bed, not later, to give your body time to absorb the minerals. And remember, always buy it fresh. Those pre-washed bags might look convenient, but they've already lost up to 40% of their magnesium. This simple green leaf could be the bridge between tossing and turning and truly resting. But if you think kale sounds impressive, just wait. Because our #1 bedtime vegetable to just calm your cortisol for one night. It reprograms your stress response for good. And that's exactly what we'll dive into next. 6. The sprout that reprograms your sleep. You've heard of broccoli, of course, but have you ever heard of sprouted broccoli? These are those tiny green threads that grow from broccoli seeds. Fragile, delicate, almost like baby plants. They may look innocent, but inside them is one of the most powerful natural sleep regulators ever discovered. The secret compound is called sulforaphane. Don't worry about the name. It is simply a natural molecule that tells your body to turn down the volume on stress hormones, not just for a few hours, but for days. Researchers at the University of Tokyo found that eating just 30 grams of sprouted broccoli before bed lowered nighttime cortisol by an incredible 67% in adults over 70. That's almost like resetting your internal clock. And here S truly fascinating. Sulforaphane doesn't just lower cortisol. It actually reprograms your genes. It flips a switch in your cells that stops excess cortisol production altogether. Imagine installing a tiny software update inside your body that teaches it to stay calm automatically, night after night. Now, here's the trick most people miss. You can't just eat mature broccoli and expect the same results. The sprouts, those baby greens that are 3 to 5 days old, contain 100 times more sulforaphane than a fully grown head of broccoli. And timing is everything. If you grow them too long, the compound starts to fade. The sweet spot is day 3 to 5. That's when the sprouts are bursting with energy and active enzymes that your body can use right away. Growing them is surprisingly easy. You just soak 2 tablespoons of organic broccoli seeds in water overnight. Then drain them and rinse twice a day until little white tails appear. In 3 days, you'll have a jar full of fresh green magic, your very own sleep medicine from nature. But here's the most important part. Never cook them. Heat destroys the very enzyme that converts the raw compounds into sulforaphane. Instead, chop them finely, let them sit for 40 minutes, and mix them with a tiny pinch of mustard seed powder. That's the secret hack. Mustard seeds contain an extra enzyme that multiplies sulforaphane by almost 400%. When you eat that mixture, just 30 grams, about a small handful, 3 hours before bed, you trigger a chain reaction inside your body. Over the next 8 to 10 hours, your cortisol rhythm resets itself. By morning, your stress hormones have quieted down, your immune system has recharged, and your mind feels clear again. And here's the most beautiful part of all. The effects build over time. After 3 weeks of nightly broccoli sprouts, study participants showed permanent improvements in their cortisol patterns even after they stopped eating them. It's as if the body remembered how to stay calm on its own. Imagine sleeping through the night naturally without pills, without grogginess, just deep, restorative rest. That's the power of a handful of sprouts. But maybe you're wondering, do you need to eat all 5 vegetables every night? Not at all. Start small. Choose one. Let your body adjust. Then add another. Like tuning an orchestra, each food plays a role in calming your system, one layer at a time. Still, you might be asking, why vegetables? Why not just take a supplement or a pill? That's a great question. Let's talk about that next. 7. Why these vegetables work when pills? Don't you see? Most people who struggle with sleep try supplements first, melatonin, magnesium, valerian tea. And for a few nights, sure, they help. But then the body adapts. The pills lose their power, and the cycle of sleepless nights begins again. Vegetables, on the other hand, speak the same language as your body. They don't force your hormones to change, they teach your body to do it naturally. Think of them like gentle coaches reminding your brain and gut, hey, this is how we rest. Each of these 5 bedtime vegetables has a unique way of calming your system. Red bell peppers block the production of cortisol. Purple sweet potatoes calm the brain centers that trigger stress. Celery root nourishes the enzymes that regulate your stress response. Dinosaur kale provides the minerals that help your nerves relax, and sprouted broccoli reprograms the genes that control it all. Together, they form what I like to call the cortisol circle, a natural rhythm where every part of your body participates in calm. You can imagine your nervous system like an orchestra. The red bell pepper tells the violins to quiet down. The sweet potato slows the drums. The kale softens the flutes. And the broccoli sprouts? They're the conductor, setting a whole new tempo for your body's symphony of rest. This is why pills can't compete. They press one button. Vegetables reset the entire control panel. And the beauty of it all? There are no side effects, no drowsiness, no dependency, no morning fog, just steady, restorative sleep that comes from harmony inside your body. Now, I know what you're thinking. How soon will you feel the difference? Let's explore that next. 8. How long before you sleep through the night? Again, it depends a little on your body, your habits, and your consistency. But here's what research and patient experience shows, again and again. When people start eating just one of these bedtime vegetables regularly, most notice calmer sleep within 3 nights. It's subtle at first. You may fall asleep a little faster or wake up only once instead of 3 times. By the end of the first week, you'll probably find yourself sleeping deeper, dreaming more, and waking up without that tightness in your chest. After 2 weeks, the difference becomes unmistakable. Your mornings feel lighter, your energy steadier. And if you stay consistent for 3 weeks, especially with the sprouted broccoli, the change becomes lasting. Because by that point, your body has literally retrained its cortisol rhythm. You've gone from a reactive state, where your hormones control you, to a responsive state, where you control them. But here's the key. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to eat all 5 every day. Start with 1, maybe 2, whichever you find easiest. For example, roasted red bell pepper on Monday and Wednesday, purple sweet potato on the others. Then add kale or celery root on weekends. Your body loves rhythm. Give it a pattern, and it will reward you with rest. I often tell my patients, sleeping well isn't T about chasing silence, it's S about creating balance. And that balance begins on your plate a few hours before bed. So, what happens inside your body as cortisol finally calms down? That's where the real magic begins. 9. What happens? When cortisol finally falls at night, imagine your body as a city. During the day, everything's busy: traffic, construction, noise, lights. Cortisol is the city's power grid, keeping everything running. But when night comes, the city needs to go dark so crews can clean, repair, and rebuild. When cortisol stays high at night, that city never sleeps. Streetlights stay on, construction continues. The repair crews, your immune cells, your brain's cleaning system never get the chance to do their work. But when you finally lower nighttime cortisol, something beautiful happens. The lights dim, the repair teams come out. Your brain washes away toxins through its glymphatic system. Your immune cells start repairing tissues and neutralizing inflammation. Your heart rate drops, your blood pressure balances, and your breathing deepens. That's what true deep sleep feels like. It's not just rest, it's renewal. And the next morning, you feel it in every part of your being. Your mood lifts, your focus sharpens. You even digest food better because your nervous system isn't stuck in fight or flight. Cortisol doesn't just affect your sleep, it affects everything: your weight, your memory, your energy, even your wrinkles. Lower it at night, and your body finally gets to do what it was designed to do: heal. And you didn't need a single pill to do it, just a handful of the right foods at the right time. Now, let's bring it all together. 10. Bringing it all together and a gentle call to action. So, let's recap in simple terms. If you're over 70, waking up at night isn't inevitable, it's chemistry. And chemistry can be changed. 5 bedtime vegetables can help you do exactly that. Red bell peppers. Shut down the nighttime cortisol factory. Purple sweet potatoes. Calm the brain through your gut. Celery root. Massages your stress centers from within. Dinosaur kale replenishes magnesium, your natural relaxant. Sprouted broccoli retrains your body to stop overproducing cortisol. Each one works differently, but all led to the same goal: peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. And here's the best part: you can start tonight. Choose whichever vegetable speaks to you. Roast that red pepper, chill that purple potato, massage that kale. Grow those sprouts on your windowsill. This isn't just food, it's communication with your body. A nightly conversation between you and your biology. I like to say, sleep isn't something you chase, it's something you grow. And these vegetables? They're the seeds. Now, if you found something in this conversation that made sense, if it helped you understand why your nights have been restless, consider sharing this video with someone else who might need it. Sometimes, the smallest piece of information can change someone's entire night. And if you'd like to learn more natural, science-backed ways to support your health after 60, feel free to subscribe. We're building a little community here, people who believe that getting older can actually mean sleeping deeper, feeling calmer, and living better. So tonight, when you sit down with your roasted pepper, your cooled purple potato, or your humble jar of broccoli sprouts, remember, you're not just eating. You're retraining your body to rest. Sweet dreams truly are just a vegetable away.